Hey guys, we're going to be going back to the Fairy Dragon Shenmon for one more Rank 1 clear. This will probably be my last Rank 1 clear video before I move on to things like budget runs, farming videos, etc. This is for those of you that don't have Kaito. I did the no Chow clear Rank 1 yesterday. Today we're doing the no Kaito clear. Now without Kaito, the damage requirement gets quite a bit harder. So we're going to be bringing Roberta for Dragon Killer, Bulwark for Fairy Killer. Because of that, we couldn't fit Cressnik on the party. So for morale gauge, we got to bring Chow back. And again, if you need a no Chow clear, that was yesterday's video. The rest of the party is pretty typical because we're not using Kaito. We're going with an ice team with Roberta and then Esther and Sky. So all the modifiers are turned on, and let's get in here and do it. After this is done, I'll have 3 different Rank 1 videos for you guys to pick and choose among them. Alright, so you pretty much, at this point, hopefully if you watch my other videos, you know what's going on with the fight. So I'm going to focus mostly on just the stuff we're doing. So Chow is going to start in the shift form for auto buffing. That's where we get our auto protect from. Then he's going to go to the base and provoke, True Guardians, and focused inspiration. Roberta is going to, in the shift form, morale fill. We're going to do support for the Mirage, and we're going to do dragon mitigation. That's very important to do at this turn. Shift form Bulwark is going to fill morale and then do Moops medley for fairy mitigation. Frievia is going to, let's see here, wait a minute. We're going to first of all shift Sky and LB the boss to stack her up as well as accuracy down the boss. Then we're going to quadruple, we're going to field, and we're going to prep 3 times to put up, or to refill LB gauge. And when that finishes, we're going to shift Esther and just Shatterbolt to get morale. Alright, so we're probably going to get 2 of the attacks on Frievia. She should survive. Sky's going to get 1, and Guts. The rest of the party should be totally fine. Okay, there we go. Yeah, make sure your Sky has Guts, because Sky is made out of paper. It's pretty terrible. But whatever. So the boss said use a Limit Burst for the Simon Says thing. We are going to do that. If we didn't, the boss would mana drain us. And, you know, I don't really care. That wouldn't really bother our party. So here's the LB. We're going to LB with Chow for Omni covering, and that's going to turn on his countering into overdrive. So we're going to LB Sky again to stack her up. We're going to go ahead and triple Shatterbolt with Esther. The reason for that is it fills morale gauge. Roberta is going to, in the shift form, morale fill. We're going to use Dragon's Aim, or Dragoon's Aim, because it fills morale gauge. And we're going to Emissary of Demise. Well, Dragoon's Aim doesn't fill morale gauge directly, but it boosts accuracy, which for this clash does fill morale. We're going to go ahead and shift Frievia, and we're going to end guard, flick, and bind, put up a better break, and then now we're going to give Chow big mitigation with Bulwark. We're going to chirrup, and we're going to 85 mit on Chow. Because we're not using Cressnik, meaning we're not curing the Imperils, and the boss big times imperils your tank. Normally we're using Cressnik, and Cressnik just cures all this, and this is irrelevant. Turn 2 is super easy because we cured all the Imperils and we did a resist all buff with Cressnik, but no Cressnik means ouch. But we have got 85 mitigation with Bulwark, so we should be fine. Depending on your Chow. No, it's pretty painful. As you can see, Chow is taking a beating, but, you know, Chow's pretty bulky, and with Bulwark's mitigation on top of that, it's very good. Now here is going to be the counters where Chow is going to really fill the morale gauge. This time we are full counter build on Chow. My first video with Chow didn't need it because we used Cressnik on that video, but this one we're not using Cressnik, so we really got to squeeze that morale bar pretty hard, meaning counter build on Chow. And I already see the comments. For those of you that don't have things like Cypher's Coat, you just do the best you can. You gear, you know, the permanent counter up gear would be Proof of Talent from Chloe, and then double Blizzard Orb. If you miss the limited time stuff, there is nothing I can do for you about that. But it'll still work, it'll just be more RNG. You know, the higher your counter chance, the more likely he gets enough counters. but we're going to be pretty comfortably overcapped on morale. We're going to have the morale filled by like turn 4 or so, but we're actually going to turn 6 for our burst. So even if you don't have the full counter set up, you should be fine. Okay, so now Chow is going to do Provoke, because we're going to need that for later. So we're going to Provoke, and we're going to do True Guardians and Most Loyal just to fill more morale. Sky is going to stack up yet again. Esther is going to triple Shatterbolt yet again, just more morale fill. Frievia to the base form, where she's going to reapply the field, because we're going to need it for later, and then prep 3 times. Before we do that, we're going to go to the base form with Roberta, where we're going to morale fill, Mega Breath, and we're going to do Stone Killer. That's because it gives her just a big defense and spirit buff, the only reason. Okay, and we're going to, with Bulwark, morale and mixtape. So just morale and then mixtape, we can finally get our triple cast going. So this turn is the physical damage turn, but the boss has accuracy down, Chow has evasion, and we've still got another turn of massive mitigation from Bulwark, so Chow is going to take very, very little damage. Still hurts a little bit. I mean, he's really not a physical tank, but, ouch. Well, good thing we had Bulwark's mitigation on that turn. Am I right? Anyway, more counterattacks because, you know, Chow did Omni cover all of that, so we'll be here for just a moment while he Omni covers, or while he counters. Oh, he didn't actually counter that many times that turn. Okay, well, whatever. So let's go ahead and LB Chow again for the Omni cover. So this is going to be the Cruel Fey turn. Esther can just Shatterbolt yet again. We're going to go to the base form with Sky and just use her Magnus to hit the boss twice. We're going to go to the shift form with Roberta, because this is a Fey turn, and we don't want her shift form to be taking big hits. So we're going to morale fill. We're going to aim again for the morale gain. And we're going to refresh Dragon Killer, because again, we're killing on turn 6, and we did it on turn 1. It'd be gone on turn 6. We had to refresh it. We're going to go ahead and shift Frievia. Now we're going to do her Magnus Break. So this turn should be pretty safe. So we're going to Magnus Break, End Guard, and Flick to reapply the Sword in Peril. We're going to shift Bulwark, and this turn, if you need more morale, you can use the morale skill. If you don't, well, no matter what on this turn, you have to do Moop's Melody for the killer and mitigation. Then you can use like the Magnus to heal the party and mana refill, or you can morale fill, or you can Mascaphony for safety. We're going to Mascaphony for the AoE re-raise. Because this turn, actually not next turn, is going to be a little bit dangerous. This turn will be fine. So here comes the Cruel Phase. This is not going to be a dangerous turn. The boss did do a mana drain. We got a double Cruel Fey on Frievia, but as you saw, it's fine. The morale gauge is really high at this point, so it's whatever. This turn is fine. Next turn is going to be real painful on Chow. So here's the weakness of Chow. Chow, as you guys may know if you have him, his Focused Inspiration cooldown is 4 turns of huge mitigation and 1 turn of nothing. It has a gap in its uptime. That's turn 5. Normally, I would push the threshold on turn 5 and not have to worry about the lack of uptime in Chow's mitigation. But with this setup, notice how this turn the boss has defense and spirit buff. We couldn't damage cap with that defense and spirit buff up, which is really unfortunate. So we're going to go another turn, and that's okay, it's planned out, but we're going to guard Chow, because this turn is going to hurt. Also, this is that magic turn with that huge Imperil on Chow. So we're going to use another charge of Magnus on Chow so we can survive that with Bulwark. We're also going to just morale fill and mixtape. Also, Chow has re-raised from the Mascaphony we did last turn. So worst case scenario, if Chow still happens to die, he's going to re-raise, and next turn is the burst turn. So even if he re-raised and loses all his buffs, that is totally okay. So Roberta in the base form is going to LB for the buffs that we never actually got yet. We're going to Tybus' Spirit Sky. We're going to go to the base form with Esther and get her setting up for burst. You know, the usual burst setup type stuff. We can go ahead and do a 400% defense buff, because it'll be back up again when we need it later. Frievia can go to the base form, and we're going to Magnus, and then it's triple prep. So Magnus and triple prep. Yep. Okay. So here is the dangerous turn. Again, Chow should survive it. He is guarding. He's got mitigation from Bulwark. But the boss does have a magic buff this turn, which is going to be pretty painful. And if he re-raises, it's okay. So here we go. It's not too terrible, but again, you know, it depends on your Chow. So my Chow didn't super get that damage. He did go below half health, and I was guarding. So if I wasn't guarding, he would have died. But you know, with guarding, with Bulwark's mitigation, with the 400% defense and spirit buff from the morale bar, all of that stacked up, and a really well-geared Chow, of course, you know, you survive it. Anyway, now it is time to do our burst. Now, not having Kaito means we don't have those big killers, we don't have those big 90 breaks, we don't have Kaito's damage himself, we don't have the water element, which is the proper element to use in this fight. It's mostly weak to water. So damage is a little bit trickier without a Kaito clear. So you are not going to super overcap this boss without Kaito. We should still pretty reliably do 2.5 or better, but it's harder without Kaito. I was a little, you know, I was a little like cavalier on day one, saying, "Oh, you don't need Kaito. This Clash was super easy." Well, if you have Kaito, that's the case. A little bit harder without Kaito. Anyway, we're gonna do it though. So we're gonna go ahead and shift Chow, and then we're going to Extreme Nova with the Materia. Esther is gonna LB. This is a pretty typical burst turn. You guys know what's coming. Roberta is going to Mystic Breath. Sky is gonna LB. Free is going to shift an LB. Okay, this is important though. Our re-raise from earlier is gone. We need re-raise this turn. So this turn, we're going to Morale Fill. We're going to Mask a Phony for re-raise. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So we're going to Morale Fill. We're going to Mask a Phony to re-raise the party, and we're going to Choke a Phony. We're going to go ahead and do that first because Bulwark is actually not chaining with anyone. So get that out of the way. Let's go ahead and do the attack and magic buff. Okay, so other than that, it's the pretty typical stuff. So we're gonna send Roberta. A moment later, we're gonna send Freead. Then we're gonna send everyone else, and we're gonna do hopefully 2.5. Then we're all gonna die. So this, and 2.5 or better. That's the plan. Depends on variance. 2.8. So yeah, so not quite as big of a huge overcap as the Kaito clears, but you know, we still got it. Also, we come back not quite healed up because Bulwark's re-raise is not nearly as good as Cressnik's, but that's okay. Okay, so this turn is going to be what's it called? A little bit painful. It's going to be a physical damage turn, and again, not having Kaito, we can't remove these huge stat buffs the boss gives from the threshold. So we gotta just deal with it. This is gonna be painful, but we are okay. So here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna use Roberta to go to the shift form, or the base form. She is in the base form. So we're going to do Mega Breath to get the quad casting ready. We're gonna Draconic Triune because we need to fill LB gauge for the party so we can do our stuff. We're also gonna do Dragon Mitigation with Destroyer Dragon. Alright, let's see. Sky is going to break the boss's attack this turn, do her Magnus, etc. Also Spear in Peril. Also, it gets rid of some stacks of Mirage. We're going to shift Bulwark. We're going to do Fairy Mitigation with Moop. We're also going to do Magnus Electric Ensemble to heal the party. Alright, Chow is going to do... We're not going to provoke with Chow. Very important. Do not provoke. We're going to do Focus Inspiration from Magic Mitt. We're going to do True Guardians. And we're going to do Most Loyal of Hearts. So do that. Esther is going to shift. And actually, Esther's LB gauge is not quite filled enough. We got to do Roberta first. So we're going to do Roberta. Notice we're not breaking the boss's magic. The boss has no magic attacks this turn, so that is okay. So we're going to do Magnus, Field, and Double Preparation with Frievia this turn. That is going to refill a decent chunk of LB gauge on our Esther. Now Esther can Magnus, Storm Guardian for that big mitigation, and we're going to do Provoke. Make sure my chart is listed correctly. Yes, and Boundless Stasis. You know, we don't really need Provoke. Yeah, we don't need Provoke. We don't actually want Provoke. We don't want Provoke. We're going to Electro, Storm... I'm going to adjust my chart before I post it. And... Shatterbolt or Energizing. Yeah, let's do it that way. I like that better. Okay, anyway. Here comes some physical attacks. They're going to be relatively painful. No, Esther is a pretty decent tank. Oh, we got Mana Drain too. Whatever. Irritating. Anyway, we're miraging a bunch of them, and some hit. Okay, so on Esther, it's not that big a deal. I tried it earlier. I tried tanking that turn with Chow. It didn't work at all. Yeah, Chow was not able to tank that. But Esther did it fine. Okay, so I'm actually adjusting my turn chart for you guys, make this a little bit simpler. So what are we doing now? Let's do... Oh yeah. Oh, derp. This turn, the boss is going to do big magic damage. So we need to Aurora Coop. No, do it this way. Let's do Flick, Coop, and Bind. Nope, that's wrong. That's wrong. Let's do Coop, Flick, and Bind. All right. We will LB our... I can't think of this name. Sky. Let's have Esther go to the base form, where we're going to Calm and double bolting. Let's have Roberta tag. Alright, let's have Chow take over provoking. So we're going to provoke, we're going to magic cover, and we're going to morale fill. While Bulwark is going to... What is Bulwark going to do? Let's go to the base form. Let's morale fill. Let's... Nope, even better. Let's morale fill. Let's Mascaphony in case anyone potentially dies here. They shouldn't, but they might. And let's refresh Moop. Do we need that? No. Let's go ahead and mixtape instead. Alright, this turn we're going to defense and spirit buff. We're going to... As you can see, I am optimizing my clear as we go. We're going to this as well. Okay, yes. I like where this is going. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to chain this. And Frievia is going to be chaining with our Esther. So the boss has those big threshold buffs right now, so he is very, very bulky. This is a cruel Fey turn. This is going to hurt. This is why we wear guts. Alright. Okay, it's not super bad. I might be overplaying this. Man, I tried it earlier and it was painful. But I wasn't tanking with Esther. I was tanking with Chow. Okay, well, whatever. Oh, you know what I didn't do? That's okay. So we're gonna go to the shift form with Chow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust my turn chart. That's okay. That's okay. Let's LB. Let's LB. Now, the boss does have defense and spirit buff, but I think at this point we're ready to kill him. Not a problem. So we're going to quad mystic. Let's attack and magic buff. Unfortunately, Sky's LB is not ready. That's okay. We'll Dawn Flourish with you. We will just triple bolting with you in the shift form. And we will triple Mascaphony with our Bulwark, and that'll chain with Sky. There we go. That should be good. If this doesn't kill the boss, well, we've got re-raise. So this, and I'm pretty sure it's going to kill the boss, though. You know, it wasn't a super-duper overkill, but it did work. Maybe I should have played that safer, and... I don't know. Oh, 1.4. Oh, no, the big hits came at the end. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, there was the rank 1 without Kaito. A little bit trickier, but certainly very, very doable. Perfect score, 1.120 billion, whatever. Here's a breakdown. So we've got Esther doing a nice chunk. Roberta doing... it's pretty even across the board. Sky... did a little... Oh, Sky didn't get a third LB off. Anyway, there it is. Let me go ahead and show you the team. I'm wondering if I can maybe optimize that those final 2 turns. I mean, it worked fine that way, but it seemed a little tight. I don't know. Maybe. I have to think about it. Maybe I could extend the clear to turn 10. That might be a better option, honestly. I will consider my options. Maybe going to turn 10 would have been a cleaner option. Anyway, here is the party. So Esther in the base form is just pure damage, has a source of guts because things might go wrong in phase 2. Oh, and we're not using the Knights of Grand Shell card at all, because you guys asked me to do it without that, but we are using Orange card, so but Orange older. 275 LB, 300 Dragon and Fairy. Now, Shift form is geared for lots of bulk with guts, because she takes over tanking in phase 2. So there we go. Lots of guts, lots of bulk, and, well, a DPS card. And there it is. Chow in the base form, counter build. Double Blizzard Orb, Coat, Looming Wrath. Make sure he's using his TMR or STMR, including the 7-star version. So we're using the Everlasting Kindness to activate his trust passive. We start him in the Shift form with just some auto buffing, but most importantly, a source of auto protect. Any source is fine. There we go. And then Lightning Fast Legend, make sure he's not dual wielding. Roberta in the base form gave her a source of guts. Other than that, killers versus the boss. 7 whatever. Maxed. And then Shift form is just bulk. Bulk and guts. So I don't think actually Roberta ever qualified for one of the Cruel Prey. She actually never got hit, but it didn't hurt. Bulwark in the base, well, both forms are just high spirit. I think he has the highest spirit on the party, so he takes all of the spirit versions of Cruel Fey. Oh, actually, Chow may have. I don't know. Oh, no, he has the highest MP in the party. So there's the gear, and he does Fairy Killer, Fairy Mitigation, really big mitigations on Chow in the beginning of the fight, and helps out with re-raise as well. Frievia, base form is just, bulk and guts. There we go. Shift form is LB damage versus the boss's races. You can tell I'm a little out of it right now. Maxed LB, Max Dragon, and 175 Fairy. I ran out of good killers. Big sad face. And then Sky, base form is kind of whatever. I don't think the base form ever counted for a Cruel Fey. Tide versus Spirit. Shift form is damage, needs guts because she does qualify for one of the Cruel Fays on one of the turns. So there we go. And I'm not using Knights of Grand Shell card because it was requested that I not use it. If you do have it, then obviously her stats would be even better. So okay, there was 3 different rank 1 clears. I got my first rank 1 clear, my no Chow, no Esther rank 1 clear, and I did the no Kaito rank 1 clear. So hopefully between all 3 of those different teams I've posted videos for, one of them helps you get rank 1. If you're not a player that chases rank 1, next project is working on budget clears and quick turn 1 or turn 2 OTKs for farming pearls, tickets, whatever you want to farm on this boss. Anyway, see you next time.